What's crack, everyone? It's Leon here from Black and Irish, and I'm in the Gravity Bar at the Guinness Storehouse for the next installment of ZER0.0 Gravity. Today we're chatting to a mogul in the music industry. It is the one and only Simba. Simba, how are you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Happy days, happy days. First of all, I have to compliment you on your dedication to the scene.
Yes.
You've full attire of Black and Irish brands, is that right?
Decked out.
Head to toe. Okay, so let's start with the tracksuit. What you have? MCINO, MCNO, yeah. What's it? Money comes in, not out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Great brand.
And then we've got Mr. Customs on the shoes.
Very nice. Is that your own brand that you have that you put on it?
It's not a brand, just Jungle Beam Studio and mixed by Simba, just so you know who I am.
Yeah, that's it. I'm fresh on feet, man, you know. But look, you've been doing amazing work in the music scene in Ireland for a really long time now. And I think for that, we need to celebrate that. So, quick cheers. Happy days to your success. It hits different every time. So, look, let's jump straight into things. You've been working in the music industry for a long time. You own your own studio. What got you started in music, and who are some of your inspirations?
I think just being in church. I was in church like very early on because my dad was a pastor, so I had to learn how to do the sound in the church, and I had to learn how to play the drums, and I just had to do it. So that kind of got me started into like self teaching and self learning. From there, so from then on, then I found out about 50 Cent, and it changed my life.
Yeah,
it changed my life. Like when you talk about best rappers, 50 Cent is not really up there, but like the way he was saying what he was saying really changed my life. So I started rapping myself, and I was like, I actually don't like rapping. I'm not. It's not really for me. I don't want my voice out there. I want to be more in the background. So yeah, I started producing and opened a studio in my bedroom in college.
Wow. Right. Okay.
And then from there we went.
There's a couple of things that you mentioned there. So 50 Cent, obviously, firstly, got to see him live for the first time last year. Incredible. Like it was an amazing show. MCNO got him in a top or something, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's crazy. So
that's for the culture.
That's it. So he is for the culture. And then another thing that you mentioned there is that I think that church to industry pipeline is insane in Ireland. Like we've got a few years, so we've got yourself, King David, we've someone actually in the room, we've got Dams here, who plays drums and is now moving into the industry. What do you think it is that makes people move from that church pipeline into music?
I don't know. I don't want to be biased because I grew up in the church, but I feel like when you grow up in the church, like you really learn music. Like I was in choir practice, like we'll have the choir master saying, no, sing it like this. No, that note is wrong. Like 6 people might be singing, but he'll be standing there and he'll be like, yo, why are you singing like that? I'm like, how did you hear that? So like, I think in church, they really teach you excellence. So like when you take it into the industry, like it just translates easier because they're like, oh, this guy really knows what he's doing, but it's because you were in boot camp in church.
Yeah. And you started off by rapping and putting out your own music. And tell us, what was the scene like at that time? Like, was there many people putting out music or?
There was a few. There was a lot actually. It's just it's a lot after a while because there wasn't a lot. The scene wasn't great. People stopped. So people need to start again. But there was a few. The only person that I can remember from back then is OVA. He makes videos now.
Right. Okay.
Like back then, he was heavily making music as well. There's some other people I'm not going to mention their names because they're not around. So what's the point?
Okay. Okay. So people were rapping and putting out their own music, but because there wasn't a culture there that was lifting them up.
You were almost laughed at if you were
right. Okay.
Back then.
But you're able to move into different.
Yeah, like I was making gospel rap, so like it was different. Like people saw me differently to what they would see like a normal rapper.
Right.
So they were like, oh, this guy is making a difference. So like that helped me in a way. But like I know my other counterparts, there was no shows for them to be going to. Festivals was unheard of. They might do a club show here and there, like like the Vela nights.
Right.
Like we had the nightclub back then, like people were performing, but that was about it.
Yeah, do we still have that kind of culture? Like, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't been to Vela.
No. Like if I'm going out to Vela, I don't go to Vela. But if I'm going to Vela, I don't want to go and see someone perform. Like,
okay, right.
I'm there to like enjoy myself. So I don't think maybe that's why they kind of stopped doing that because
right.
it was almost forced on people.
Okay, I get you. But I think that does open up a door to people. Like I think that gives people an opportunity to perform in front of crowds, gets people knowing different artists. So like I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to that. But like, look, that's just me. But you started your own studio in your bedroom in college, and now you own your own studio, which is a really prominent studio in the music scene in Ireland. So take us on that journey of how you started in your bedroom to own your own studio.
Yeah, I think with owning my own studio, when I started rapping, there were no studios, so I had to kind of learn everything myself. And halfway through that, I realized that I actually don't want to I don't want to rap. This is what I want to do, but I'm not good at it. I'm not good at this yet. So I just use myself as a guinea pig. So I was producing for myself. I was writing lyrics, recording them, releasing albums just to learn about audio. Like everything else that came out of it was just lucky. My main focus was to learn about audio and to be able to own a studio. Like that was always my goal, to own a big studio in Dublin. Yeah.
And you now own a big studio, so
by his grace.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Wow, you're drinking this.
So let's jump into the next segment then.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard you talking before in a little bit more of an expletive manner, but so we won't jump into it in that fashion. But about how when you were learning this, you had to learn it on your own and you needed to teach yourself. Were there people that were willing to help you, or were there people that were kind of gatekeeping?
There was nobody willing to help me. People were gatekeeping. And when I think about it, it doesn't make sense. There was really nothing to gatekeep back then. Like everyone it was still like training ground. So like helping each other was like, I feel that should have been the goal for people that were doing what I was trying to do already. But yeah, it is what it is. And when I say this, like that's the main guy that didn't help me. There is one or two guys that to this day we still have relationships and we still talk about, oh, you're doing this, oh, I'm doing this as well, and we still give each other tips and tricks. So it was just that one person that I don't understand what's wrong with him.
Sure. So I think let's talk about it in the two extremes then. So how harmful do you think gatekeeping is to the up and coming industry in Ireland, and then how important is it that we begin to uplift each other and work with each other in order to help each other? And if you see someone that's struggling a little bit, or if you see someone that you could help with your knowledge, how important is it to impart that knowledge onto them? So let's talk about those two extremes.
Yeah, I think it's very important. Like gatekeeping can be harmful, but it's not gonna deter you from reaching your goal. It's just it helps because if let's say new engineer right now and he wants to do X, Y, and Z, but I've already done X, Y, and Z. If he just comes and asks me, oh, and I just tell him, and it just saves him a year or two.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's a no-brainer. Stormzy said in one of his tracks, he said, I treat Dave the way this guy should have treated me. So like he's bringing like every door that's open for him, he's just bringing Dave along, and he's saying the guys before him, why didn't they do that for him? He had to like break it down himself.
Absolutely.
So
yeah,
like I don't think it's gonna deter you all the way, but it helps.
So it's not going to stop you, but it might slow you down.
Yeah, it'll slow you down.
Yeah,
which isn't helpful, because then you're going through emotions. Oh, why am I not there yet? You could have been.
I get you. Yeah. And I think it is a little bit. It is a little bit more harmful than not, because you know, if you're slowing someone down, realistically, you're slowing a whole scene down, because when I believe a rising tide lifts all boats. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So that person doing well is going to bring me up, because people looking at them are going to say, okay, well, who else is in this kind of space?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I think that's something that we need to see in other spaces that have happened and say, okay, well, actually, let's not do that here in Ireland. Let's make sure.
There's no point. We're just slowing ourselves down.
100%. So you've had a lot of success in the music industry and mixing, mastering, and making sure that big tracks get out there. So tell us about the biggest track that you've worked on that is now a global phenomenon.
Yeah, the biggest track is the Belters Only track, Make Me Feel Good. That's probably like my fourth dance track I ever worked on in my life. Yeah. And it's the biggest track I've ever done. So yeah, we thank God for that. Shout out to the Belters guys, because they're breaking barriers every 100%. Every time.
And shout out to Jazzy as well. You know, like Jazzy's doing an absolute madness. Do you know what I mean? And like in terms of when you look at Black and Irish people who are taking off and doing the kind of global thing, like obviously we've had Reggie Snow in the past, we've had Hair Squade who've been really popular. Obviously we've had Samantha Mumba if we're going back a little bit further, but Jazzy is really now a global.
She's at the forefront.
Like she really is at the forefront of it.
For a Brit, like
that's crazy. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah. So and then I remember there was a Guinness Live and Rising event in Limerick, and it was a show with Jazzy. and PCM, Powerful Creative Minds, who she started with. And I just think that that's such that's an amazing example of opening the door for others, because she started with them and then brought them along.
Them on, yeah.
You know, so I think that's the way we need to be. You know, we need to be saying, okay, well, who's around? Who do I start with? Who's like, you know, I'm friendly with, and let's go. Like, let's go and achieve this thing.
People might call it nepotism or playing favorites, but it's not. It's that's what you can see. It's also like when people were saying, "Oh, I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's good artists in Ireland." No, you can't see them.
Yeah,
they're not in your bubbles. I said something yesterday. I was like, "Yo, we need to step out of our bubbles."
Yes, I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet.
Too many people are in our bubbles. Step out and you see that. Okay, there's a bigger picture.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't repost it because people might think it's a bit political.
You have to be careful.
I have to be very, you know. But I think you are right. Like we can work with people that are close to us, but it's important that we're at least aware of what, and that's something that I'm trying to do in terms of getting to listen to sounds of other artists and stuff like that. I get my hair cut in Designer Cuts. Shout out to Afro. Shout out Afro.
That's another OG in the game.
Yeah, 100%. And he's opening a new shop in Blanche. In Blanche.
Yeah, that's a legend.
I saw that. I was like, because I live in Blanche now. I'm like, thank God. Thank you, God.
Treks.
No treks into me. Like, look, he probably will still work in Mead Street, but like, look, I'll go wherever he goes. Like, Johnny, that guy can move to Nige.
You're going.
I'm going to Nige as well. Let's then talk about that. Let's talk about other people, like getting to know other people outside of your bubble. Who are you kind of looking at the moment, or who have you been introduced to in the scene and over the last little while that you're looking at going, okay, yeah, this is someone that's going to go to the next level?
There's this guy, Fade. Like, I'm talking about it for like the last 6 months because they came into the show 6 months ago, and I'm like, this guy is really cold. He's rapping in English, but also putting some Irish in there. Not some Irish, like really good Irish, like stuff that I don't know, I have a clue what he's talking about. Because usually, like in Ireland, like we know a few words, but he's talking about something like
is that the one you're therefore you're there, all of these beats like a slaughter.
Exactly, yeah.
That's crazy.
I really like him. I think he's gonna do something. And there's a few guys that have been coming in from Galway. A lot of guys have been coming in outside of Dublin.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that.
Which is mad because we put, I think, a little bit too much emphasis on Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin is not.
Like, no, Dublin is good. Like that. That's not
saying
Dublin's
like, class.
No, but you're right. I don't think there is enough of a. I think we nearly discount people outside of Dublin too quickly. Do you know what I mean? Like we did an event with Guinness in the summer. And we had like the likes of Marco and Calvo on. Actually, you were the one that put me on, because I messaged you going, yo, I need you to put me on some artists in Galway. And you were like, yeah, all right, here. And we listened to Marco and Calvo, and they were really good. Do you know what I mean? The show that they put on that night was really solid, like, you know. And that was my first time ever being introduced to them. So it was great to see what's out there. And like, I know that there are probably 20 or 30 artists who could take us to that next level, kind of like what Travis and Els are doing at the minute. Like, madness. They're doing a madness. Do you know what I mean? And it's great, but I'm sure there are many other people, if we gave them the opportunity, they would be able to do good work as well. You know,
and it's not an Irish thing. If you go to America, before music blew up everywhere in America, like if you're not from New York, they were not trying to listen to you. In England, if you're not from London, they're not trying to listen. It's just now that they listen to rap people from Manchester, Birmingham, all that kind of place. So yeah, it's a slow process, but as the more we keep talking about it, more people have it in their ears that we need to look at these other guys as well. Yeah,
that's really interesting. I think let's talk about the UK for a minute and talk about how the Irish market could maybe penetrate the UK market a bit more. I feel like look, we're very close. The Irish population is still only about 5 million. It's the size of Greater Manchester. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about Greater Manchester putting out the output of what Ireland is putting out, you'd be like, wow, okay, madness, now it might be. I don't know. I don't know the Greater Manchester scene that well. I know H.
Bugsy.
Was Bugsy Malone from there?
He's from Manny, isn't
is he? Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah, all right, cool. No, I love Bugsy Malone. He's brilliant. He's a great actor as well, actually. But you know, is there a way that we could start looking at the UK market and saying, okay, well, let's see how much we can push ourselves into that market as well? Do you know what I mean? Because there's no like, I can get to Liverpool quicker than I can drive into town some days. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So
I think I know like when drill music popped off, I know like a lot of what we're doing over here was trying to break into their scene. And if you guys did, I think that's when Officer had his success.
Yeah.
People like Chokes and Rose, but now like because I'm not heavily involved in the marketing and distribution of music, but right now I feel like there's no prevalent sound in the UK. So I feel like we're over here as well. We're waiting for that prevalent sound. We're waiting for them to do something. So when they do something, we'll do something and we'll break back.
Why
into
do we have to
market.
wait for them though? Are we not able to? Are we? We're missing a piece, is it, of the what the sound should be?
Yeah, I don't think. Correct me, people that are listening. I don't think we have a sound. Like in Ireland. I don't think we even have a style of rap. Like in the UK, they had grime. Like they created that.
Yeah.
So then they could now work off that and make other subgenres. We don't have anything like that. So I think we're dependent on other markets.
Okay.
I really believe so. I can't, because we don't have a sound. So like, and it's not like in the country we're in, it's not like the country is asking for, they're not begging for the music. So like we're pushing the music ourselves.
I get you. We need to create something that people can't wait for.
Yeah, someone said that our scene isn't cool enough.
Cool enough?
Yeah, cool enough to have his own sound.
Nah, we are. Right?
How can we be cool enough if we don't? He's like, we're cool enough.
Come on, we're cool, right?
It's like, I kind of get it, because I can be cool enough if we don't have our own thing going for us. Like when other artists come to Ireland, we're like, yeah, we show them this artist. And like, oh yeah, he sounds like my man from UK.
Yeah. So, like what I don't want us to do, but I feel like could be a good exercise, is map artists that would align with UK and US artists and see if we can get them to work with one another. Mm-hmm. And that would like realistically it would benefit us and the Irish scene a lot more than it would them.
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know, UK artists are always looking for new people. Like they're gonna run out of collaborating with each other quickly.
Exactly,
you know, pretty soon. So you know, giving them that opportunity. I feel like Cello has done that.
Yeah, Cello's done that.
J1.
He has some stuff in the vault as well.
Okay, right.
Yeah, people like him and Officer, they're really
Debo as well.
Yeah, they're really good. Debo had a feature with
Gigs
and was it Getz? No, it wasn't Getz. What was his name? I can't remember his name.
Just shout it. What was it?
Yeah,
Little bit. Yeah.
That's stupid.
That's crazy. Well, obviously it was Gigs' piece that I was like,
yeah.
Jeez, you know, like the landlord. So okay, so we can do a couple of things. We can map ourselves to others, or we can make our own sounds to make other people want to come to us. And what do you think is most likely?
I think we're gonna need to map ourselves with other artists, because like making our own, like you said, with this 5 million population in Ireland, I don't think there's enough of us.
Right.
There's enough of us that like the scene in the first place to really. Yeah, because look at Belters Only. Like they sold out the Tree Arena. Is it twice now?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah. That's because like the music they're making is for the population in this country.
Okay.
Like they're not relying on 50,000 people to buy the tickets. They're relying on like millions. You get what I'm saying?
I get you. They have maybe 2.5 million.
Yeah.
Of a total addressable market.
Over
We're getting very formal with the language that we're using. Total addressable market, like
like over how many?
How much churn do they have?
Yeah. Awful.
So okay. So we either need to make our sound more appealing to a wider audience. Is that not kind of selling ourselves out though?
That's what I was telling you about the yeah. Right. No, but there's a fine line. I think there's a fine line. I don't think we should sell ourselves out. Like what you said, like doing collaborations with UK and US artists, even French artists. Like it's not just UK.
This is it. We have
French artists.
We have a couple of continents that we could actually. Yeah. Like I feel like there's a greater affinity between Ireland and the US than there is between the US and the UK. So we really should tap into that more. naturally we're black and Irish. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like we have the continent of Africa, which is you know, a second home to us that we can begin to tap into as well. And I know I've had a few conversations with people in Nigeria about doing a bit of a tour of the West Coast with Irish artists. So we need to.
It's needed.
It is.
Like go. I went to France and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, bro. I wasn't in Paris. I was in like a small city, and I was in the studio and they had plaques everywhere. They were like, "Yeah, we just sell it in our country," you know. It was just talking to me so calm and relaxed. I was like, "Yeah."
Was he speaking in French or English?
There was French and English. Like, c'est bon. I was like, "I'm good." Like, no français. They're like, "Okay."
All right, cool. Okay, so those are the things that we can do to expand ourselves. But how do we get there as a scene now? So what are the things that you think we're doing right, and what are some of the things that you think we're doing wrong?
Oof. Things we're doing right. One thing I really love is that when we as a scene recognize that, oh, this person is good or this person is next up, everybody supports that person.
Right.
So I like that because like that's the only way that, because I'm seeing gliders and I'm seeing Travis and Els. I'm seeing them on different people's blog posts, different people's reels, and I'm seeing the scene going there and sharing it, saying, yeah, this is our guy. So I like that because it's making the outside world be like, oh, these guys are lit, and that's what we want them to.
And there's something that I'm seeing with them that I haven't seen in a minute, and that's there's other they're getting you know, like YouTube reacts, like they're getting a lot of that. Yeah. There's a lot of people doing like reaction videos to their song.
Exactly.
And it's like they're really rocking with it. Do you know what I mean? And that's great because I feel like when other people, when you see someone from outside your country supporting them, that's when people turn on and go, oh wait,
my guys.
Yeah. You know, but people can be very slow at the start.
Yeah.
To support people, and I think, Travis and Els for me are really paving a way. I think Fortune is going to do really well.
Yeah, Fortune, he's got something in what he's doing. What is, like, the sound is different. Yeah, the way they release is different. So like,
is that the kind of start of the new sound? I mean, like we've talked about a couple of people. We've talked about Fade. I feel like Cello has done that quite well as well, though.
Even Officer did that with the Yoruba and English. Like, he tried something new.
It is new,
different. Yeah,
you know, and that maybe that is it. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's something that we have over other people. And like, you know, Gaeilge is quite a poetic language. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like a fusion of different languages.
I think it is.
So yeah, we've talked about Fade. We've talked about Travis and Els, and then we've talked about Fortune. And three of those for me are quite distinct in and of themselves, but they're different. Like they're newer sounds to what we've heard in the past. You know. So what do you think is the kind of sounds to go with?
The one to go out of those three, or what are you saying?
Or is it a different sound, or?
No, I think it's developing. Right. I don't think it's at this it's reached its final form yet. I think there's still going to be, we're still going to have artists come and add to it and take away from it. I don't think it's definitely not in its final form yet, but I'm excited because like with music nowadays, like even globally, what gets me excited is it different? Is it the same?
The same copy and paste.
Yeah, like that's fine. Like you can enjoy it, but it's like for how long?
Yeah, I feel like TikTok kind of came in and
TikTok
ruined things a little bit. Like shout out TikTok. Like it introduced me to new stuff, but also like I feel like some people started making sound just for that, you know, which isn't obviously great. But yeah, okay, cool. So thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me.
No problem.
I want to hear from you. What is or who is exciting you the most, and where do you kind of see us in the next kind of 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years. Oof. I feel like we're gonna be in a whole different space. I feel like we would have had 2 batches of artists, because I have this theory, because I've been in, like, every 5 years we get a new batch of artists.
Okay.
So I think we're waiting for that next batch now, and in 10 years time we'll have had 2
more batches.
Yeah. So I think we'll be in an amazing place.
Right.
Because even like the guys making music now, they're making music at a level that is higher than a lot of the guys that I started working with when they first started.
Right.
So like the sky's the limit.
Yeah, and is that because we have people like yourself, people like Prod Solo, people like you know, the labels coming in and starting to say, okay, well, we're going to start supporting. Like I saw Erica Cody got signed recently.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know what I mean? Is the sound adapting because your side of the house as well, which is really what's behind pushing the music, that's evolving as well.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. It's definitely evolving. Like maybe 5 years ago, if you wanted to record music, you probably come to me. But now,
Right.
you don't need to.
Okay.
Because you've got loads of other studios, you've got loads of other engineers that can get the job done for you. That can get you on your way, and that's really all you want. Once you're on your way, then you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Then you just keep doing it. So yeah, I think that also helps as well because and also because people are saying that, oh, I can make a few bob here and buy a few things, feed my family here and there. People are seeing that, so people want to also get involved.
Brilliant. Yeah, 100%. Well, look, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting to me.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Chat to you soon.